One of the things I wanted to share today is an aspect that my brother and I had talked about with respect to going through a health journey like I've done and what keeps people back like it had for me in the past and persons like himself and why we struggle. And one of the things for many of us is our self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves. And, it may seem like something for some people may seem weak to talk about feelings. And I guess especially for a man, I've never been one to hide it. I've always kind of wore my heart on my sleeve. I wanted to share something today that I think it's helpful for people in order to go through your journey to address this. And it's how I feel about myself and things that I still struggle. Because quite frankly, I still sometimes am not happy with myself and the way I look. And that's a little beyond just, there's always room for improvement. It's more deep set feelings of self-hatred, self-esteem, and kind of looking for perfection in something that may never be realistic. Truthfully, like I said, I work very hard, and I know, cognitively that I'm in better health than probably most guys my age. I'm almost 47 years old, and I managed to lose over 200 pounds on my own. And granted, I've built back some in muscle and probably a little fat too, but I know that I'm in fantastic health. But sometimes I am just not happy with the way I look. And that's the thing that I want people to understand is it's so easy to get hung up on the aesthetic aspects of what I did. I think it's great that so many people tell me you look fantastic. I literally hear it every day. I still hear it. It is an amazing thing, and I get that, and that's probably the most astounding thing because you can't see what's going on in the inside of my body, right? And obviously, most people make assumptions about that. You look at somebody and you can make an assumption about their health somewhat, right? If they're 400 pounds, certainly you're most likely not in great health unless you're 8 foot tall. So, and I'm grateful that I look better. At least certainly in clothes. But I'm not happy with myself. And I have to deal with that on a daily basis. And I'll talk to you about some of the things that I do to work through that. But I also just want to talk to you about some of the realities because it is something that for a lot of us, and if you're one of those, many people who don't deal with that, that's great. I'm happy. I'd love to learn from you. I do learn from people who are happy and centered around themselves. But a lot of it for many of us is we're our own worst critics. And we tend to put ourselves down, and we tend to hold ourselves to standards that may not be realistic. And, often we look at people and compare ourselves. And certainly I've done it. I'm sure you guys do it. And sometimes it gets you down. Maybe it's beyond just the way you look. Maybe it's your career and things in life. Maybe it's other things, right? Some things you may not have control over, Maybe I wish I was taller, I wish I had, whatever, green eyes. Whatever it is, to truly be at peace, to truly grow, you need to learn to do things to love and respect yourself. And I know I have love and respect for many people. My mother and father were very, very loving towards me. And they always showed me love. So I know a lot of it didn't come from there. A lot of the self-doubts that I have for myself didn't come from them because they were always very loving and supportive of me. So I had the base and the ground, but for some reason over time, because of mistakes I made in life, things that happened to me, some things that I have no control over, I learned to not love myself. And then it wasn't until I realized that I couldn't move forward. And it's a harsh reality. I think a lot of us who feel that way I know I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for you, but I've been in denial about it. At least up till several years ago. I've known it for a long time. I've actually been exploring it, but I don't think I knew it at the time because nobody wants to face that reality. Some of the things that I do, one of the things I think is that you need to detach yourself from trying to compare yourself. And I think that's one of the things that is challenging. Facebook is probably not the best thing. And I well realize that I run a risk sometimes with some of my friends out there and some people who know me who look at what I did, and I'm not going to say jealous because it's not about that, but sometimes for some people, I'm not saying it's you, but for some people it can make you feel bad about yourself because clearly what I did was more than most people do. I'm not going to tell you it's impossible, nor am I going to tell you it's easy, but to lose 200 pounds like I did on my own without surgery is astounding in comparison to what the average person has been able to do. But I'm not going to fool you and say it's something that was easy. I think the harder part, truthfully, as I tell most of you guys, is the life afterwards. What are you going to do after? Whether you get surgery, whether you go on a diet, whatever you do, it's the life after that counts. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys. When you see me hiking, when you see me exercising, when you see me eating healthy food, I'm not doing it to brag to you. I'm doing it because I'm showing you the realities from my journey of what I have to do in order to transform myself and live a lifestyle that I want. And the lifestyle I've chosen is health, because I've woken up to what's going on out there. I won't get into all of that today. You guys hear me preach a lot about that. What I want to talk about a little deeper is the things that I do to work towards loving myself and respecting myself. And I'm going to certainly tell you, especially since I will be completely blunt. I've alluded to it. I will not sugarcoat it. I have felt thoughts of suicide in the past when I was not healthy. Now, whether I would have rather gone through it or not is not really the point. The point is that when you feel like not living is terrible. When you hate yourself so much that you just wish you weren't here and didn't have to deal with things, it may seem like it's weak, but sometimes you're just so beaten down. But fortunately, I learned to turn all that around, and I want to share those things for those of you who struggle like I did. And it does get better when you learn to take care of yourself, and it does get it does, you do grow and you do learn every day, because for me every day is a learning experience, and you just keep going, you just keep pushing, you don't give up. So one of the things I do is I surround myself with positivity. And for any of you who look at my stuff and roll your eyes, that's fine. You don't have to look at the little positive quotes I put out there. For a lot of you, I can see that it helps. It certainly helps me. And I think that that's probably one of the key things, is to surround myself with positivity. You can find thousands, millions probably, of positive quotes, sites, things like that out there that, or whether it's something spiritual, if you need to turn to a higher power, whatever it is, learn to focus on the positive, whether it's about others, or whether it's about yourself. Even if you got to force yourself, you got to fake it to make it. That's a first step. It really is. And even if you think it's stupid, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I first looked at those things, I thought they were stupid. And, especially when you're down at the bottom of the barrel and you could give a crap about everything in life, looking at the bright side may seem stupid. And I'm going to tell you right now, it helped me, and it's not stupid, and it's tremendously helped me grow. So that's one. Number two, being honest with yourself. So I'm going to say this at risk of maybe angering some people, but I think there's a lot of people who are in denial about how they feel about themselves, whether they realize it or not, because I was one of them. And until you can realize that how you feel about yourself directs how you treat yourself, it directs how you drive yourself, it directs how you treat others. Until you can face that, you're not going to be able to change or grow. And until I realized that, because there were aspects of my life where, because of the way I felt about myself, it changed me as a parent, as a husband, and I regret, the person that I was, and all I can do is go forward. And that's number three, forgive yourself. If you've made mistakes in the past, and I tell everybody this, you can only go in one direction, and that's forward. You can ask forgiveness from those you may have hurt. You can change. Every day is a new day, right? Here we go with our positive quotes. Every day is a new day, and you get a new chance, right? And until you learn to move forward and forgive yourself, you can't change how you feel about yourself. So I think those are probably the key things that can help in feeling better about yourself and moving forward. So I've kind of rambled a little bit. I hope this was helpful. I want to tell you something that's very important to me, is that I love myself. I do. Sometimes I struggle with it, but I do. And I love all of you, whether you know it or not. I've learned to better myself and be a better person, and that's why I want to share with you some of the things that I go through and the reality. I'm not going to sugarcoat things and try to make my life seem like it's all peaches and cream, as my wife says. All right? So wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Stay awesome.